politics around, your voice is talking all the time. And you live for sleep, you never slept, because you cannot sleep. Oh, Colonel Walter was shocked when he learned from the Nile copper African elephants are turning hostile. So he built these wonderful automaton boats and a very big steam-powered G-Rebel smoke. Now the war is past.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, on tonight's show, we will be traveling to past waters to uncover a tale that has been sinked to the bottom of the deepest oceans, put into catacombs, and fell to the earth again by meteors. This is an obscure Russian play about people who lived centuries ago. Far from Imberania, there was a west steppe where the winter was deadly freezing and the summer was damp hot. And as for spring and autumn, the wild flowers of the kin, which was the name of the steppe, let their stifle pollen go, making people choke while the fog started to set on the horizon. Compared to the odds of it, human life was present here, away from the rest of the civilization, separated, and yet, still somehow, this place was prosperous. People here, when there was not enough to go around, shared and aided each other. In short, greed was non-existent here. It was simple life. Well, as simple things can be in this world. After all, sooner or later everything ends, right? One spring, a particular heavy fog sat down on the steppe, one that made everything rot, except the wild flowers and the wretched pollen. At the time, most people still lived on those fields, and the heavy pollen, constant raining, and this fog didn't really have a good effect on them. A plague that spread like wildfire on a dry summer, that is the thing that followed this. People infected at first were just exhausted. Then that turned into an impossible high fever, and when that boiled the sadness out of people, they started to ache everywhere. People in the last stage of this plague would start to linger on the streets, reaching, touching anyone that was close enough. Oh, those poor souls. They just wanted some comfort, didn't they? Now, remember what I said about greed? That it was non-existent here? That might have been a white lie. It's a human factor. And even if the people would have been saints, and there are real desperate times when madness hits, greed appears. Not out of nature, but panic. So, 3 families were chosen to hold power in this mess. Every last one of them held power of different things. But those 3 could never agree on anything. The only thing they had in common is the fear of this sickness, and the fact that they wanted it gone. So, each family chose a gladiator for themselves, their objective, to basically defeat death. The people of the kin separated into 3, each group representing under each family's gladiator. People of the kin were superstitious, believers of Imber, Ignis, and Tempest. Or if not, at least they respected the culture they brought. The people, because of this crisis, began to choose sides in this too. The first family did focus on a different detail of the culture. More precisely on the being Terrapag as the turtle. For both animals and humans here, the only safe space, the only thing that gave them hope, life, and a moment of brief relief, was the unusually clean waters. The people of the first gladiator over the centuries swore to protect the waters at all cost. They felt as they are chosen by it. And so, the people soon began to form an idea that at the time they couldn't have known that it will be their demise. An underwater city, a safe haven in the depths of the ocean, as they called it, Rapture. It took some time to build, but at last it was done. The glimmering light at the bottom, the bastions on the surface. The place was beautiful, to put it in simple words, but this heaven didn't stay as it should have. Instead, it turned into hell. The second family were of humble origins. People of the second gladiator mostly lived secluded on the outskirts of the community. These people chose this because they all had something in them, either in their origin or outlook, that normal humankind deemed as special or particular. These people, instead of quarantining the healthy, decided that they should try to heal the sick and save them somehow. Anyhow. They viewed this as their divine calling, apparently, to save people. They became doctors of sorts. While they managed to save many, their ways of saving seemed unacceptable to the other two groups. So like animals, they were hunted. After a while, only those could find them who searched for them in vain in their need. And even after that, they would only help those who proved themselves worthy. And finally, the last family. These people were of humanities and intellectuals. Weirdly, the third gladiators people were more interested in the plague itself than the actual sick or healthy. They were interested in other things. Is this perhaps a message from the gods themselves? Do they command something? Can we ask them about this? Do they even see us here or dying? Where did this even come from, actually? Is it really a bad sickness, or is it perhaps just misunderstood? These were the questions the third group asked constantly. And interestingly, people from this group who caught the plague didn't die horribly. When they were sick, in their fever, they began to write endlessly, read everything they could get their hands on. They archived everything. They began to look further than just land and water. They tried to find answers from the endless sky, as they believed the end. They researched and searched for this other word out of myths, tampering with mechanisms, chemicals, beverages, and human minds. Their solution on the table was a bit different too. They decided that it is best that we compromise with the plague, view it as no enemy, instead as a companion through time, one that gives us a special gift by the fever it causes. It lets the mind roam freely, they preached. For the plague feels, it lives, and it is something that can be reasoned with. We shall show the knowledge it can give us to those who wish to see it. People of Rapture, people of Sekhen, and the people of WatchRuins. I wonder how their story ends. These three groups. One that hides, descends into the water's secrecy. One that heals, but at what cost? And one that holds unworldly knowledge, caused by a mad fever. This is the story of the kin and its own people. But let's not be this gloomy. This is an interesting story, but just an old tale nonetheless. But it is one that makes us wonder.
Doing your little broadcast again.
Would, if you wouldn't interrupt it every time.
Well, I'm terribly sorry for that then.
Oh, yes, sure you are. Well, everyone, looks like our show ends here and now. I hope you had a wonderful time and join me later again. But for now, since the clock struck 12, all I can say is good night.